Don't mind me, I was just having a little crying fest. Hey, what's up everybody? It's me, your cosmic homegirl, and I'm here to talk to you guys about the transit of Mercury going through the sign of Cancer. So Mercury is the planet that rules how we talk to each other, okay? Our speech, our communication, our understanding of each other, comprehension, logic, reason, and just how our mind works is Mercury. It's how we're typing, how we're texting, how we're emailing, DMs, reading stuff, writing stuff, everything to do with communication is Mercury. So it's going to be transiting through the sign of Cancer. Mercury enters Cancer on June 12th, 2018, and it'll be there only for a couple of weeks because Mercury moves super fast. So it'll be in Cancer until June 29th of 2018. So yeah, really only 17 days it'll be in the sign of Cancer. So when we combine Mercury with the energy of Cancer, what do we get? Well, Cancer energy, Cancer is the fourth sign of the zodiac. It rules our family, it rules sensitivity, nurturing, caring, maternal instincts, being super family oriented, and it rules the home, it rules our comfort, our security. That's what we will be thinking about, that's what we'll be talking about. We may be more sensitive when it comes to our speech and more sensitive to taking things very personally because Cancer is a sign that is very personal. It pays attention to the little things, okay? The little things, like if the inflection in someone's tone changes when they're speaking, if someone's facial expression changes, you know, those little nuances, those little details of being a human being and expressing ourselves as humans. Mercury in Cancer pays very close attention to that because Cancer is the sign of motherhood. And when a mother has a baby and the baby cannot yet communicate using words and speech, how does it communicate? Non-verbal communication. So like your facial expressions, making little noises, little, you know, the tone. That's how a mom can tell. The baby's crying. Oh, the baby is hungry, number one. And also the baby needs a change and the baby is cold. And everybody's like, it's just a baby crying to me, you know? And the mother is like, no, I understand the language of the baby. Okay, it doesn't have to be complete words and sentences. It doesn't have to be logical or anything like that. I understand the underlying information that's being transmitted through the tones and through the noises and the facial expression. You know what I'm saying? So Cancer, Mercury Cancer understands all of that. So we may be paying more attention to that in our peers and everybody else around us. And because of that, that's why Mercury in Cancer can make people take things a lot more personally. For example, somebody could post something on social media, right? Talking about haters and this and that. Oh, people doing this, people doing that. While Mercury's in Cancer, some people, especially if you are like a sensitive water sign, may take that up the butt, you know, may take it as like, were you talking about me? Was that a subliminal message about me? That's because Mercury in Cancer can read subliminal messages very well, okay? Like I know what you're really saying because water sign energy, Cancer is a water sign, especially when it's in Mercury, is super intuitive and can pick up on what you are saying, but it's not being communicated through words. It's through everything else besides the words. But because of that, Mercury in Cancer is so hypersensitive to that sometimes it can take little things that you don't mean to be a certain way, okay, and be very sensitive about it. So that's how, as a collective, we may be talking and receiving info from others and communicating. But also, what are the things that we will be focused on? Like, what will our mind be focused on while Mercury's in Cancer? Well, more so on family. I mean, this is the summertime, at least in the part of the region of the world that I live in. It's the summertime, and usually kids are out of school, families go on vacation, you know, there's Father's Day and summer break and all this stuff. That's traditional, especially in the Western world, in the US. And that's the time when people get together, they barbecue, they have, you know, get-togethers, sleepovers, they go camping. All of that stuff happens around Cancer season. So for a lot of families, it is a time of like getting together, celebrating, having good food. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, Cancer is one of the main signs of the foodie, the people that really love food. I know what people be like, I'm not a Cancer, I love food. Listen, it's up there, okay, in the levels. Like, there's different levels here, okay? You may be a Leo and love food, you may be a Scorpio and love food, but Cancers are like up here, okay, when it comes to food, because it's a sign, once again, of nurturing, of motherhood and nourishment and feeding and comfort. And what do we do a lot of times for comfort? A lot of us, we eat for comfort, right? And especially food that's like our mom used to make it, our dad, our ancestors or whatever. Like, there's tradition in food that touches our hearts, touches our souls. Like, we're like mad connected to each other through sharing meals. You know what I'm saying? It can be an emotional thing for some people. So when Mercury is in Cancer, that could be what we're talking about more, we're thinking about, we're wanting to share with one another. And yeah, like I said, this is the summertime where I live, and there's lots of barbecues, cookouts, whatever you call them, family gatherings with lots of food. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. So while Mercury's in Cancer, remember, we'll be very sensitive to what others are saying. We can pick up on lots of little things, and that's not always a bad thing, okay? I know it's like people can get super butthurt. That's really irritating. But one of the good things about Mercury in Cancer is being very receptive towards other people, especially when they want to talk about their hardships. A lot of people may talk about their hardships, especially ones that are based on like their roots or their nationality or their people or whatever. Cancer is super focused on that. And so they're in their hometown, their home country, their home team. Cancer rules a lot of that stuff. So people will be wanting to talk about that, tell you some war stories, okay? Back in my day, we had it rough because we had to walk 15 miles in the snow with no shoes, barefoot. Little old school stories about that. Memories. Cancer is so great with memories. I'm telling you, the memory bank of Cancer energy is like super heightened, especially if it's emotional connections, if it's things that have emotional value, sentimental value. So we will be sharing stories about our family, our ancestors, learning more about that, about our roots, and about our grandparents and what they went through, and sharing stories with our elders, and looking through photo albums and scrapbooks, and maybe creating some of that stuff is really dope to do during Mercury in Cancer season. One other thing that I would say to try not to do when Mercury's in Cancer is be mad manipulative. This is a water energy. All the water signs have a tendency, just being 100% real and honest here, okay, to be super manipulative. Cancer energy is no different. It can be very manipulative, like trying to give a sob story or a guilt trip. That's what you don't want to do with this energy. It could be super annoying for people, all right? Or that, what about me? It isn't fair. Why am I left out? Why wasn't I invited? Oh my God. All that stuff may come out more, and good thing is it's only for like 2 weeks that we may be having this heightened sensitivity that can get a little annoying for some people. But like I said, there's good and there's bad to every transit, every sign. So that's the do's and the don'ts with Mercury and Cancer in general. So now I will go through every sign and let you guys know how this transit will affect you personally the most. But before I do that, look you guys, I'm wearing the color pink. I'm wearing this pink color. Pink is one of the main colors of the energy of Cancer, because pink is like a very sensitive color. It makes you think of softness, baby softness, soft flesh, you know what I'm saying? Also, pearls are associated with Cancer, with it being a water sign, the crab, the ocean, and all that stuff. So pearl colors, the color of the moon rules Cancer, so like silver colors are associated with Cancer. But yeah, I just wanted to wear, a little pink to represent. I know you might be saying, I'm a Cancer and I don't like pink. Well, that's good. Check the rest of your chart, boo-boo, okay? But I'm representing with this color. Okay, so for Aries people, Mercury in Cancer is going to be in your 4th house. So everything that we spoke about with what Mercury is going to have you focused on is like double for you guys. So you guys maybe, Aries is not the most sensitive sign. It's not the most like, crybaby sensitive. Why are you crying? Aries is more like the person that'll ask people, like George Lopez. Why you crying?
Why you crying?
I wonder if George Lopez has any Aries in him. He's a Taurus sun, but he may have some Aries to be asking, why are you crying? But you guys will be sensitive with how you're thinking, how you're speaking, a little bit more than usual. You guys may be busy around the home because wherever Mercury transits, that could be where you are the busiest. That means physically moving around, especially with your hands, with which Mercury rolls, and your mind, staying super active. So you guys could be moving, Aries people. You guys could be just rearranging things around your house. You guys could be talking more to family. Family could be reaching out to you more. You might get texts from, you know, aunts, cousins, uncles, whoever, like people that you haven't heard from in a while. Like, hey, what's up, Aries? How have you been? Why haven't you come to see me? You know, let's hang out. Let's get some food together. So you may get those phone calls or those messages a little more during Mercury in Cancer. Also, you guys can be very considerate towards other people, very sensitive towards others, and listen to their stories, you know, to their sob stories, their war stories. You may be expressing more of your war stories. Well, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know the pain that I've felt. Nobody knows my troubles. Aries, you might be speaking about that stuff a little bit more. You guys may be one of the main signs that are doing things like reminiscing a lot. Reminiscing about your childhood, about your wherever you come from, looking at photos and sharing those photos. You know, a lot of flashbacks and throwback pictures like on your social media, or sending them to your friends and your family, like, look, oh my god, look at me when I was little, and look how cute I was with my hair and food all over my face, you know, look at this. Look at grandma, you know, remembering family members and ancestors that maybe are no longer here, which can be kind of sensitive, I know, but you will be thinking so much more about that stuff, Aries. But yeah, the best way to utilize this energy is definitely to stay busy around the house, see what you can better around your home. Like I said, some of you guys may be moving, but being in contact with family and having some great conversations with them as well. So for Tauruses, how is the Mercury in Cancer transit going to affect you guys? Well, this is going to be in your third house. Okay, the third house is the house of the mind. With Mercury transiting there and Mercury also ruling the mind, OMG Tauruses, you guys may be like Tasmanian devils, okay? Your mind can be here, there, over there, over here, over there, you know, back and forth, doing something only a little bit and then getting bored and then moving on to something else and on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. You guys will be acting a little bit more like Gemini, like your neighbor on the zodiac wheel, because this is happening in your third house. Gemini is the third sign. I mean, just do a little nerdy math. So Mercury is going to have your mind buzzing. The good thing is you guys can be a little bit more open and friendly and conversational. You know, sometimes it'll take Tauruses a little bit of time to become comfortable enough to open up and speak. And Taurus doesn't normally just like blah, 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 you know, at random people and strangers or people they don't know very well too openly. But when Mercury transits your third house, this is a time like, hey, what's up, sir? How you doing? How's your day? You know, even if you're going to the bank or the grocery store, the gas station, just kind of, oh, hey, how are you, ma'am? How's your day? Oh, yeah. Oh, how's the weather? Oh, yeah, it's hot over here. Ugh. You know, those type of conversations that are a little bit more surface level. Taurus is maybe loosening up a little bit more to enjoy those. And that means being more social too. Social in person, you know, if you go out, you may not be as closed off. You may be open to conversing with people out. And also, you'll be more active on social media too. It'll be so hard to keep that phone out of your hands, Taurus. However, if you work like in media or something, media or marketing, social media even, this could be a good transit for you because you'll stay super busy and active, wanting to respond to messages, respond to emails and all that stuff a lot quicker than usual, because Taurus can be very slow with stuff like that, right? But this is your mind moving a lot quicker. So the thing I would warn you about, Taurus, with Mercury transiting your third house is starting things and not finishing them. Being too scatterbrained, okay? Leaving too many messes behind, and you know, just lots of unfinished business, which is normally not like you. But like, you know, this is only like a couple weeks that your mind will be like, woo! So it can be fun, but it could be a little messy too, Taurus, if you're not careful. All right, so for Gemini sun, moon, or rising, how is Mercury in Cancer affecting you guys? So this is going to be in your second house. which rules your money. Okay, so that's where your mind's gonna be, on your money, and your money will be on your mind, Gemini. Yes, it will. Meaning you guys could be focused on your budget. Normally, Geminis are not famously known for focusing on money in a budgeting kind of way, okay? You guys are usually a little bit more winging it, going with the flow. However things fall is where they fall with the finances. But you guys would be a little bit more cautious and conscientious. You guys would be a little bit more conscientious of what you're doing with your money, how you're spending it, where is it going, how are you earning it, how much are you earning your worth, you know, how much you're truly worth as an employee or as a business owner or whatever. Are you getting the amount of cash that you deserve? Okay, and yeah, what are you doing with it? Are you saving it? Do you have a savings plan? What are your wants versus needs when it comes to purchasing things, Gemini? Are you going out and buying all this exotic crap and new tennis shoes or sneakers or whatever you kids call them? Okay, are you doing that instead of paying your bills? Are you getting those phone calls from creditors? So do you got Mr. Bill Collector needing their money no ease up tonight? Okay, are they calling you, Gemini? You will be managing all of that stuff. And you may be thinking of more ways to make more money as well. You could be super busy because remember, Mercury is where you're super busy. Very busy making money though. You could be having more time at work, working overtime, working extra hours. Maybe you can pick up a second job or extra job, or doing something that is your own creative talent that you can utilize to bring in some cash. You know what I'm saying? So it's not all like, oh my gosh, like you guys are just spending and not caring. No, it can be, how can you make more money? Coming up with those ideas and those concepts and like putting them into action while Mercury is in your second house. So for Cancer people, how is Mercury in Cancer affecting you guys? Well, this is happening in your sign, your first house. So what is going on for 2 weeks? Okay, it's only 2 weeks of excitement with this transit. So you guys may have a tendency to be all over the place as well, because this is Mercury, which could be like a little tornado, little Tasmanian devil dude, you know what I'm saying? He takes over you. And so you're like, who, what, where, you know, all over the place, all right? You may have a tendency to be more scattered as well. So you need to make sure you're keeping your energy under control so it's not like, you know, dispersed in all these different places and have you going mad and going crazy. The good thing about this transit is, yes, you will be more communicative, talkative and everything as well. Be a little bit more social. People will be hitting you up. Your phone will be going off a little bit more, your emails or whatever. You can also be just a busybody overall, feeling like you have to do this, do that, do this, do that. But you as well as your, you know, your homie Taurus, have to be careful of starting things and not finishing them before you move on to something else and something else and something else, or saying things that are just in the moment. You just say it, you don't really mean it, and then people come back to you and they expect you to follow through and you're like, what? I don't remember saying that. I didn't say that, you know? So Mercury can kind of have you going a little crazy like that. But the good thing is, yes, being more communicative. You may have more quicker wit than usual, quick with the comebacks, okay? And Cancers, you know, it can be kind of sensitive when people talk about them. So you'll be, if people say anything about you, you're not going to go in the corner and cry and play Keith Sweat, okay? You're going to be like, oh, really? You said what? Okay, well, to you, okay? Take that. And you as well, Cancer, will be wanting to talk about your war stories, where you've been, the troubles you've been through, the pain and suffering you've had in your life, your history, your roots, your people, how they've suffered, your country, your city, your team, or whatever. You'll be like super patriotic, you know what I'm saying? Like about you, proud of you, where you come from, and wanting to just speak to everybody about it. So that can be cool, but just try not to be like too boastful to where it's like irritating. Like people don't want to all just hear about like, you don't know what I've been through, you don't know where I've been, you don't know what they've done to me. I hope you feel the suffering pain that I felt. Nobody wants to hear that all day, Cancer, okay? But sharing a little bit of that so that people understand you, that is really, really cool to do during this time. Just please, please spare us the guilt trips. But your beautiful stories, we do want to hear. You will especially be on point with noticing what people need, how people feel, their favorite color, their favorite this, their favorite that. You know, I find Cancers to be some of the best gift givers of the zodiac, because you guys really notice the little things about people. Even if like somebody doesn't have to tell you what their favorite anything is, you just kind of pick up on it, you know, and notice that, because it's something that means something really special to another person. You will notice that and take that in and remember it, put it in your memory bank, and then you'll be like, wow, here, I bought you this because I knew you liked it and I thought of you, you know. So you'll probably be extra on point with being super giving and loving like you guys usually are, but it'll just be a little extra during this time. So for Leos, how is Mercury in Cancer affecting you guys? So this is going to be in your 12th house. So Leos, you guys can be very sensitive during this time, like super sensitive. You guys can maybe be one of the signs that take a lot of things very personally, because the 12th house is a water energy house as well. It's a house of reflection, and that can mean going back in memory and thinking of things that affected you some kind of way, okay, made you feel some type of way, as they say. And Mercury in Cancer is sensitive within itself. So you Leos, oh my gosh, you guys need to be giving a lot of sob stories to people, and you know, the nobody knows my troubles and all that stuff, even more than you usually would. You guys will be very sensitive, very empathic, able to pick up on the emotions of other people when you're around them. So definitely be careful of who you're around, Leo. If you're around negativity, you're gonna absorb it and you're gonna feel it a lot more. Saying things that other people have said that are negative because you just took on their energy, you know what I'm saying? So be very cautious of what energy you're around. A really good thing to utilize this Mercury transit for would be creativity, because the 12th house is channeling beautiful creative energy from like outer space, you know, and just like letting the creativity flow, and you're like, I don't know where it came from, I just started going with it, you know. So you can see some of your best creative work, Leo, if you're like an artsy Leo, which a lot of you guys are. With Mercury transiting your 12th, you can have lots of memories of the past come back. It could be, you know, good or bad. It depends on you and your situation. You can have messages come to you within your dreams from your ancestors, your spirit guides, the angelic realm, the spirit realm, whatever it is that you believe in. Loved ones that have passed on tend to visit people in their dreams a lot of times when they have a Mercury in the 12th transit. So definitely pay attention to those. And it could be family, mostly because it is in the energy of Cancer, which does rule family. People tend to get like super sensitive when Mercury transits their 12th house. So if this happens to you and you find yourself giving like many sob stories and crying and listening to old school R&B and Keith Sweat and Drake and just like bawling your eyes out, Leo, just know that this too shall pass, okay? It only lasts like 2 weeks that you'll be like really touchy like that. You may want to spend time more on the solo tip when Mercury's in the 12th house, you know, like just feel kind of isolated. You may take time off of social media and time away from being in the spotlight, you know, all glamorous and getting all this attention. Like maybe you won't feel like that. You'll be like, I just kind of want to be alone for a little while, you know? So if you do feel like that, Leo, it's cool. It's all good. Don't wallow. Don't allow yourself to drown or anything. Like I said, this too shall pass. If it is a very sensitive time, and Mercury will be in Leo and you'll be like back to the party, okay? So for Virgo, sun, moon, or rising, how is Mercury in Cancer affecting you guys? So this is happening in your 11th house. So this is your friends. You may be busy with your friends, Virgo, okay? You may be taking time away from work. I know that's hard for you guys to do. Step out of the hamster wheel. But you may do that because friends may be contacting you a lot more than usual. This is an area of your life that does rule friends, acquaintances, people that you network with. So yeah, it's the time when your phone could be going off, you know, bing bong, bing bing bong, like having people DM you, email you, call you, even if people do that still nowadays, make a phone call. You may have your phone very busy, be in high demand, okay? And even on your social media, you know, people will just want to talk to you a little bit more. You may be more vocal on social media. Just don't take it there. You know what I'm saying, Virgo? I know you guys will be highly opinionated, and try not to take subliminal posts as being all about you, because this is Cancer energy, which can definitely be that way, like taking stuff up the butt, being very everything is personal, a personal attack, you know. So you may feel like people on the internet are doing that during this time, but it could just be that you're like uber sensitive, okay? But this is a really good time if you are a Virgo that works in IT, with technology, on social media, with building websites. You know, it's a good time to do stuff like that. Or if you need to market yourself or network with other people for the sake of business, I'm telling you, this is a really dope transit for that. You will stay super busy and active in that area of life. With Mercury in the 11th, the only bad thing I would say is to try to avoid speaking in a way that's like holier than thou, because Mercury is how we are speaking, and the 11th house can sometimes have the God complex, you know, be like, oh, I'm the most educated, smartest person in the world, you know, and all you peasants beneath me and all of you humans, and I have super alien intelligence, you know. Sometimes 11th house Mercury can speak in that way. The good thing about it is, yes, you will be seeing things from way different perspectives. Oh, why didn't you think about it that way? And oh, I see that it could have been done this way. You guys can already be like that, but this is like a little more enhanced, right? To where you can like elevate your mind above humanity and look down and dissect humanity like an alien or like a scientist. You know, we're all on a little petri dish to you, and it's like, well, I see this could have been done this way, and oh, there's a better way that things can be done here in this area of life. And you know, so that's awesome that you can be a little more open-minded during this time, seeing things from different perspectives and expressing that. But just try not to be, you know, on the arrogant side with your intelligence, with your high super intelligence, Virgo. But it can be super excellent time for networking and maybe even just conversing with your friends a little more than usual. So for Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, how is Mercury in Cancer affecting you guys? Well, this is going to be in your 10th house, which is your career and your public image. OMG. Okay, so you guys are going to be super busy with work. Super busy with your work, your career. Maybe if you're in a position of authority or you're in a management position, this can have you so busy there, okay? Your mind is going to be like focused and super driven on success, getting to the top of the ladder or whatever that means for you in whatever work that you do, Libra. You may be focused on ideas to implement into your image to make it better and improve it. That can mean on a public scale or, you know, within whatever career or job that you have. You can be busy looking for a new job or career. A lot of people do kind of switch things up when they have a 10th house transit like this. So yeah, you can also be communicating with your bosses and your higher ups and authority figures a little bit more to kind of see what they do and get advice from them. Receiving wise counsel from your elders, so to speak, is something that people do when Mercury's in their 10th house. And that way you can see, how can I get like you? You know, you're in this boss status. Like, I want to be there too. So how do I get there? So you could be like kind of hanging around people to learn from them in that way to become more successful. Mercury in the 10th, the only bad thing I would say about it is you, Libra, even though you guys are very diplomatic, you're very lovable and tend to be very considerate of others when you speak. When it's in the 10th house though, this is you being a little bit bossy, okay? A little bit more on the authoritative side, to where you may speak in a holier than thou way as well. You know, the 11th house, the 10th house, 9th house tend to do that. And this is the 10th house for you. So you can feel like in more of a position of authority. And this can actually help you as a Libra, because normally Libras are very passive, you know, they don't really like conflict, but maybe this can have you finally standing up and saying no, with the period at the end and everything, like no, you know, just speaking out and speaking up for yourself and saying, I don't care who you are, you're not going to do this, that, or the other. Being a little bit more defensive, yes, and maybe even defensive towards authority, you know, so just be careful with that, because maybe it can get you in a little trouble, you know, especially like with the law or something, because you think like, oh, who are you? I am the law, I am big and bad, like, well, what are you trying to tell me, you know? But Mercury in the 10th wonderful time to express your authority and gain respect if it is necessary. So Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, how is Mercury in Cancer affecting you guys? Well, this is happening in your ninth house. So this is the area of life that rules your higher education, like if you go to college or, you know, take some really advanced classes and things to learn some really like important life skills, okay? That's the ninth house. The ninth house is also traveling. So some of you Scorpios could be making some travel plans or actually traveling long distances during this time. Maybe even road trips. And I'm actually a Scorpio rising, and I will definitely be making another road trip when Mercury's in the ninth house. It always, like, if you're a Scorpio too, or a Scorpio rising especially, do you always find that you tend to travel around the same times of year? Like it's like a pattern, right? And if you do notice that, yeah, like a lot of times during the summer, like a lot of people travel during the summer, yeah, but still, like this is like the ninth house is lit up during Cancer season for Scorpios. So travel may be going on, you know, could be road trip, could be flying somewhere, could be anything, as long as it's like a long distance away. It could be that you guys are feeling more grateful and more blessed during this time and expressing that to the world. I'm so grateful to just wake up and breathe. I can breathe and I'm so happy. Thank you, universe, for that. You know, you may wake up in the morning every day feeling like that and letting everybody know how great life is and how great you feel. The one thing I would say about Mercury transiting the ninth house that may annoy people is people tend to be a little bit more preachy during this time, or you tend to turn into a motivational speaker, which can be cool, but some people might be like, oh my god, who does Scorpio think they are? Like, why are they trying to say life is just so awesome and we should just be like them? You know, it's not like that for everybody, Scorpio. Shut up. Okay, we don't want to see your little posts of motivational quotes all day, every day, and you smiling, everything is awesome. I mean, it's cool. That's the attitude that you're going to have, but just try not to take it over the edge, you know, to where people are just like rolling their eyes. But you will be great with, yes, motivating other people, being that person to be a cheerleader for others. Like, I believe in you. I know you can do this, you know, because the ninth house, it rules having lots of faith and optimism and just believing that everything will work out in your favor. Of course, try not to overdo that and not look at the consequences of things or the details of things when necessary, but it will be really good for just having more of a positive mindset. And I know we Scorpios need that a lot of times, especially because we just came out of Mercury being in the 8th house, which is the Scorpionic house, you know, that can have you thinking more dark thoughts, a lot more deeper, and like paranoid and conspiracy theories and oh my gosh, are they out to get me? You know, we just came out of that. Now Mercury is stepping into this happy-go-lucky area of life, which is awesome, and it's like lighter energy, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the mind and what you're thinking about. So anyway, good time for learning, good time for traveling, good time for motivating others, feeling motivated yourself, thinking about your goals, your long-term goals that you have for your career, for your life, whatever you feel like makes you experience life to the fullest and really like expand your mind. You may be reading a lot more, reading more books, reading longer articles on the internet, not just skimming, but reading, okay? Educating yourself on some things. You may be a little bit more opinionated at this time too, just very quick to be like, nope, I don't believe in that, I don't believe this, I don't believe that, you know, and preaching to people about your beliefs and stuff. So try to keep that to you know, keep it under control to where, once again, it's not irritating, but it's a wonderful time to feel so much more optimistic for Scorpios. For Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, how's Mercury and Cancer affecting you guys? So this is happening in your 8th house. This is already a water sign, and it's happening for you in a water house, a water emotional based area of your life, which rules your subconscious, your very deepest and sometimes darkest thoughts are found in the 8th house, okay? So what that means is your mind will be going deeper than usual. Sagittarius people can be pretty deep as it is, but I mean, like, you will be going way beneath the surface, below, above, around the surface, looking at things from all different angles. Because the 8th house, it rules hidden information, it rules secrets, it rules like things that we stash away back there, you know, in our subconscious mind. So this is when that stuff could be kind of dug out by Mercury, and like, why this, why that, looking at things like just way more like with x-ray vision than usual, you know what I mean? Mercury in the 8th house, it can make you a little more suspicious, a little more paranoid and mistrusting of people and their motives. Who is that? Why are they here? Why are they calling me? What's their real motive? You know what I'm saying? So try not to let your mind go to that area like too much. It will have your spidey senses, your ninja spidey senses will be even more on point though, okay? But it's up to you, Sag, to distinguish what are the ninja spidey senses tingling for a real reason, or what is like paranoia and being scared, you know, because you think something bad is going to happen, and that's just where your mind is stuck at. Mercury in the 8th house is a really good time to actually speak to someone like a therapist or a psychologist. It's a therapy house to, like I said, get out some things that are buried deep back in your mind. That could be traumatic experiences from the past, or, you know, and I know that stuff you don't want to hear, Sag. Oh my God, so negative, and I don't like negativity. No, listen, we all go through these time frames in our life where everything is not all awesome and fun and exciting and positive. And Mercury in the 8th house is one of those times that can bring some stuff like that about. What it is good for though is research. And I know Sagittarius usually love to read. You could be reading something and then it'll lead to like a thought of another thing and another thing, another thing. You know, pretty soon you've gone down the rabbit hole and you have researched everything about a person, everything about a topic. This is, like I said, hidden information. You can uncover lots of secrets during this time, Sagittarius. Okay, I'd be scared of you. Okay, don't be finding out stuff about me. Okay, but anyway, you can be a great investigator if necessary. Just don't go on the stalker side, okay? Because some people do that when Mercury's in their 8th. They start, you know, stalking people, looking for them on social media, looking up their address, and ooh, you know, all this personal info, just kind of being a little invasive with that. So don't go there. But understanding the inner workings of human beings and studying like psychology, okay, you know, that it can be a good thing to do during this Mercury transit as well, to understand what makes us tick as human beings. And I'm sure that's like exciting stuff for Sagittarius. So for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, Mercury in Cancer is going to be in your 7th house, which rules your relationships. Okay, so this means that you guys will be more focused on your relationships with others. That can mean romantic relationship. If you're in one, you will be wanting to talk with your partner more, especially about the relationship, whether things are going good, bad, ugly, you know, beautiful, anywhere in between. You'll want to talk to them about it. You will want more conversation with your partner one-on-one, not just like, oh hey, you know, social out in a group. No, you want that one-to-one interaction that's really genuine. You know what I'm saying? And you will be thinking about partnership a lot more, to where it'll be maybe even hard to like go around the corner to the gas station without having somebody with you, you know, to accompany you. So you can say, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about this song on the radio? What do you think about this new artist? You know, like just having that back and forth, like, I wonder what this person thinks about this. Do we think the same thing? Are we on the same level with things, you know? And if you are not in a relationship, you'll be thinking about partnership. You'll be thinking about, what do I want out of a relationship? What have I not gotten? What do I deserve? How am I acting in relationships? You know, all that stuff, you'll be thinking about it a lot more. And this is a time where you may just crave simply like conversation with people. It doesn't have to be all bougie, you know, romantic and everything. It can just be the company of others. Like, you'll just want company. Like that Tinashe song. Well, actually, no, that Tinashe She wants a little different type of company in that song, okay? Cappies will definitely appreciate people accompanying them to anything, you know, or just coming over and having a cup of coffee and a conversation, okay? You guys won't mind that at all, and you will be, yeah, you'll be a little bit more social too. This is a time where people may spend a little more time on like the dating apps, just kind of breezing through, you know, seeing who's out there. Nothing too serious, but also it can have some of you guys actually thinking about seriousness, thinking about commitment. The relationship that you're already in, you may be thinking about how can you get it to the next level, whatever that means for you, you know. But anyway, it is all about relationships with Cappy. The only not so great thing about Mercury in the 7th is maybe just conversing with others and trying so hard to be on the same level with them that you are not being your true self. You're not expressing everything about you that's like authentic. You could be so into the oh my god, me too, that you just kind of forget all about your own identity. Okay, that's the only thing I would say to watch out for. So for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, Mercury in Cancer is going to be in your 6th house. So this is the house of work and health, just generally speaking, traditionally speaking, okay? So this is also what you do day to day as a routine. Remember, Mercury transits are where you could be the busiest. So you are another sign, Aquarius, that could be super busy at work. One of those transits to where you can't even, like, Aquarius is a very social sign. Your sign actually rules social media. You guys are usually very good with that stuff, but you may be not even having time to be on social media, okay? You may be like, work is so busy, I just haven't had time to text you back, I haven't had time to get on Facebook or whatever. Work will keep you busy. You may be working overtime, extra hours, just putting a lot more concentration into your work, making sure that it's done thoroughly all the way through, and you will not stop until it's done. You'll be like an Energizer bunny, you know what I'm saying? So one thing about Mercury in the 6th house is you may have a tendency to keep going and going and going until things are done, which is great, but you may like sacrifice your own sanity or your own health sometimes in order to do that, because you're just so busy, like you forgot to stop and take a drink of water, or to, oh my gosh, you know what, I've been hungry for 3 hours, but this work though, you know, it just kept me so occupied. But it is a transit to where some of you guys may be looking for a new job, like be on the job search like crazy, you know. When it comes to health matters, yeah, you guys could be busy thinking about health and getting your regimes in order, maybe redoing some things with your daily routine, like your skincare, your hair care, even the route that you take to work. You may be thinking about, should I change some things? You know, how can I make things more efficient in my life? The 6th house does rule efficiency and how you can make your life a lot easier. Things run smoother. You'll be a great problem solver during this time. The only bad thing I would say about Mercury in the 6th to watch out for is being a pessimist. Okay, looking at life like it's one big problem and expressing that in a way that it's like just one big complaint fest, okay? So that can kind of annoy some people, especially if they're the type like your Sagittarius friends that are like, I don't like negative Nancy's, oh my god. You know, you may like kind of irritate them with like, oh my god, this happened at work today and this customer made me mad, this person was dumb at work, and can you believe that this person didn't do this correctly and the printer wasn't working. I could just go on, okay? But not everybody wants to hear that, so make sure you're not taking that overboard. But it will definitely up your problem solving skills though, Aquarius. So last but definitely not least is Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How is Mercury in Cancer affecting you guys? Well, it's in more of a happier area of your chart. It's in your 5th house, which rules the fun that you have in life, the hobbies, the things that makes your heart happy. Children, or you being childlike. Okay, that's the 5th house. Dating, going on the fun, exciting dates, having the romance, you know, the honeymoon phase type of stuff happen to you. That's all the 5th house. So that's where you may be busy. You may be getting busy, you know what I'm saying, Pisces? Or your mind will be on finding people that you can have fun with. It doesn't always have to be dating. It could be friends, it could be anybody, your kids, your family. You'll just want more fun during this time. So that's where you can be, you know, spending a lot more time. Your thoughts could be there. Your speech will be a little bit louder too and more excitable. Like, oh my God, you know, you may be typing with more explanation points. It's just feeling more lit up about life, okay? This could be a time where you can also be another sign that's like on the dating apps a little bit more, if that's something that you do, Pisces. Now, Mercury in the 5th house, it can mean you're super busy with your kids if you have kids. Not always with fun, you know, maybe it's like activities that they have going on and you have to run here, run there, do this, do that, or they like have something going on to where you have to run a lot of errands for and with your kids. If you have any creative hobbies, which a lot of Pisces do, this is a time where you can be busy doing those even more than usual and expressing your creative talents, because the 5th house is the house of having courage and confidence to express yourself. So, hey, this is the time to strut your stuff if you've got some skills. All right, Pisces, whether that's dancing, singing, art, playing music, writing music, any of that stuff, okay? Performing arts are the 5th house as well, and normally Pisces are good at that too. So if that applies to you, Pisces, you have the advantage, you have the upper hand with Mercury transiting your 5th house. The only thing I would say that's not that great about it, okay, every transit does have a good and a bad, is people may accuse you of being on your soapbox. You know that old saying that says you're on your soapbox, which means you're full of yourself, you're a little bit majestic and regal and just kind of talking to everyone, oh, you're peasants, you know, servants, my loyal servants, everybody, I have fans, oh, I have a fan club, I'm so fabulous, you know. It's good to feel good about yourself. It's good to be confident and show that to everybody. But yeah, try to avoid the arrogance that can come with the 5th house sometimes. But it should be a super fun, enjoyable, short but enjoyable transit. All right, that's it, everybody, for your horoscope for Mercury being in Cancer. Remember that Mercury's in the sign of Cancer from June 12th until June 29th of 2018. It's very short and sweet. Try to avoid being manipulative, but definitely enjoy those stories and pictures and memories with your family and loved ones. Enjoy good food. Be very attentive towards those that you care about. Maybe listen to some Keith Sweat. You know what I'm saying? Keith Sweat is a Cancer. And did you know Keith Sweat's real last name is Crier? So fitting for a Cancer, right? And Drake is a Cancer moon, okay? And I believe The Weeknd, I swear he's got Cancer energy somewhere, and he can kind of be a little brooding sometimes, you know? So you may want to listen to some little sensitive music like that and get a good cry out, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Cancer energy could be a little goofy and a little silly, you know, so allow yourself to do that and have fun. Now, don't forget, you guys, I do offer personalized readings and horoscopes, so you can check those out on my website, which is indigomoonastrology.com. And I do have some very special transit readings for you guys that are especially important right now and in the future and during the summer. We are having an eclipse in the sign of Cancer on July 12th, 2018. If you would like to know how that eclipse affects you personally, I do have a special horoscope on that on the specials page on my website. Also, don't forget Uranus and Taurus, an 8-year forecast personalized just for you. I have that on my specials page on my website as well. Or if you just like a general reading, love, career, any of that stuff that usually people want to talk about, love or career, I can do focused readings on those as well on my website. So the info is below and also in the little I button. So hit me up. I'd love to read for you. And until my next video, I'll see you guys then. All right, peace.